Hi, I'm Diane, your host of Epic Conversations, and today we are talking with David McClure. David works at Andrew Womack Ministries in charge of 2 departments with 170 people. David has some good experiences in management and leadership, and I wanted to do a series on leadership, and so I asked David if he would be so kind, because he has some good revelations in this area, and he was willing. So you're in for a real treat. And before we start, David, I would like to say thank you to our subscribers. Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay. So, David, we were deciding that we were going to start the series on leadership with discipling your team and, how to shepherd the people and not boss them around.
Correct.
Promoting unity, building relationships, and respect.
Yes.
Now, when I think of unity, relationships, and respect, I think of time. It's going to take time to do those 3. It's not like it's going to happen instantly.
You're so right.
So please tell us about how do you disciple your team?
Mostly out of a lot of experience. We all try to, we read the books, step 1 through 5, and you do this. But the thing we have to remember is people are not a book. So there could be 5 people in the room right now, and each one is going to be led and taught differently. And so I've just learned over 40 years of, the first thing I learned was how to read people.
Okay.
Because if you can read people, you can communicate in their language to get them to where you need them to be.
Now, what do you mean by read? I think I know, but I want to make sure our viewers know how do you read people?
Well, reading people is watching their body language to see if their body language is saying they're getting it, or if they're frustrated, or if they're having a bad day. Even seeing somebody who works for you, if you learn to read them, you can tell they're having a bad day. And now you can go up and say, hey, what's going on, and encourage them. Excuse me. So if you can learn to read people, which means you quit thinking about yourself and you think about other people, then you will have the gifting, not that you will be, but you will have the gifting to be a great leader. And a great leader is just somebody who can get people from where they are to where they need them to be.
And that's good, because there is a difference in each person. I mean, you've got 170, but less direct reports, and they have reports too, right? So, but in that, each person has a unique personality, and they each get motivated differently, correct? So when you're saying read people, it's important to know what motivates this person versus what motivates the other person, because how you would respond to Jane would be different than how you respond to John.
Exactly.
For example, right?
And see, leading people, when I made the comment to get them from where they are to where you need them to be, can work in any business. It doesn't matter, it can be working in a grocery store, and the stock boys, or do I need to say stock persons now, to get them to where you need them to be.
And where do you need them to be? Is that the vision you're saying, I need them to be?
It's part of the vision. It's getting them to where you need them to be.
Performance-wise?
Is helps you accomplish the vision.
Okay.
Okay, so the vision is where you want to go, and all the people are how you're going to get there. Even if it's with systems and processes, all those things still involve people. Because at the end of the day, you can shut off the computer, but you can't shut off the people. And you have to lead them wanting to come back tomorrow and be as excited as they can be under the circumstances that they're in, because they may have stuff going on at home, but lead them to where they want to come back in tomorrow, and not just because they need a job.
Okay.
Mhm.
So how do you build that respect and that unity in the relationships?
Well, first off, I want to say this. So we're talking about discipling your team. And discipling your team is not making mini Davids. Mini like in M-I-N-I, not M-A-N-Y. So mini Davids is not that, because everybody has their own gifting.
Good
So
point.
it's a matter of giving them the vision to see the qualities that they need to be good leaders. And good leaders start off being good teammates. And so discipling is just giving them exposure to the qualities that they need. And they will make the qualities their own. You're just giving them the concept of a quality to get them to be a good leader, get them to be a good teammate first, and then they'll become a good leader.
So you can tell, right, by looking at your team, which ones are better leaders or could be better leaders, or what their potential is, or you look at them all as leaders?
I look at all of them as leaders. Now, here's the thing. As the leader, that you have to learn to get past. So I've had several direct reports under me that went on to bigger and better things and the giftings that God's called them into. And so every time I replace one of them, that person has different qualities than the other one. And so I'm used to you, and now you leave. And let's say my wife Leslie comes in and takes your place. Well, she is going to be different than you. Well, different affects me as well. It's like, boy, Diane used to do this so well, and Leslie does it differently. And so I have to get comfortable with your qualities and your uniqueness to, I have to learn to gel with you. It's not just your responsibility to learn to gel with me. I have to learn to gel with you. So that's the first thing, is just discipling, is trying to expose the qualities that you need them to exhibit to be good leaders. Dr. Dean Radke, who's a good friend of mine for one, but he's also a lot more experience than I have, and he goes around and he teaches his Maximum CEO. I can't think of the word I want to use, but he teaches Maximum CEO, which he wrote because of all his years of experience. And the thing he talks about discipling and training up leaders is what he calls it CTTM. Coach, teach, train, mentor. And you have to apply those four things throughout all the people that work with you and for you. Because, okay, I'm almost 59 years old, so I've got a lot of experience. I hired somebody who's 25 as a supervisor in my area, so they may have great leadership potential and good qualities, but now I have to coach and teach and train and mentor them in how to be a great leader. And that is discipling 101, is coach, teach, train, mentor. And as you do that, and that's a process, so they may work for me for 4 years, and all 4 years I'm going through those processes, and it's not telling them what to do or not telling them how to do something, it's telling them what needs to be done, and then them telling me how they think you'll do it. And after a while, I'm like, just go do that.
They built trust at that point.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I've got 170 people. I don't get to talk to all 170. So I have to make sure I create the environment that they all can thrive in. And my 6 direct reports and their 12 direct reports below them are impacting all the way down to the bottom. So how do I get my culture that I want all the way to the bottom when I can't go all the way to the bottom?
That's correct, yeah.
So that's the beginning of discipling your team. We'll talk more next time.
We're going to talk more next time. That's awesome, David, because remember I said at the beginning, it takes time, and you just explained how it does take time.
Exactly.
Yes, and that's good. So we will talk more. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. Stay tuned, because we have more episodes with David coming up. And if you're enjoying these episodes, please subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend. In the meantime, have an epic day in the Lord.